Yo, what's up, sports bettors? I'm going to be taking you through a bet I locked in for today. It's from the OddsJam Positive EV tool. So this tool is really simple. You select the sports books you use. It points out value. So this bet I locked in is on Fliff. I'm on George Kirby over 17 and a half outs at minus 130 odds. And I hit it for the max I could. 250 bucks. In these videos, I'm, just showing you what I'm putting my own money on. But what you got to remember, like books have different odds from one another. Just like if you're a day trader, it depends if you buy a stock at $200 or $400. It's the same thing in sports betting. The odds or the price that you get really matters. So I'm going to take you through why this bet is mathematically profitable, why I locked it in, why I think it's really good at minus 130. And you can kind of see just looking throughout the market, most of these other sports books have the over a lot more favored, right? Like Hot Streak has this at minus 215. They've been ripping odds towards George Kirby's over. So a lot of times you'll see these lines start to move when lineups are announced, right? So if George Kirby is facing an Athletics lineup who is weaker or he's projected to pitch better against, then you're going to notice sportsbooks move odds in favor of his over. Right? He's more likely to go over if he's facing a weaker lineup. So you can see sportsbooks in general have been ripping odds since lineups have been announced towards George Kirby's over, right? And Fliff is still asleep at the wheel, giving us this play at minus 130. It's still available. Hopefully you guys are able to tail it if you use Fliff. But what we can kind of do is really get into the math behind this bet, right? So again, every odd has an associated probability. And this may be confusing at first, but right, there's a difference between a minus 130 favorite, a slight favorite, and a minus 215 favorite, which is a bigger favorite, right? So what do these odds mean? And what does minus 200 mean? It means a 2-to-1 betting favorite, 2/3 to win the game, 66.67% to win. If you're betting at minus 200, you have to win your bets 2/3 of the time or more to break even or be profitable, right? So if you're betting at minus 200, you're betting 200 to win 100 in profit. You got to win at least 2/3 of your bets to break even or be profitable. But anyways, what we can do is we can kind of get into why is this specific bet profitable. So let me pull up a little no vig odds calculator right here. So this is essentially every sports book, right? They're all posting different lines. Every book, they have their own models. All these books set lines independently. So as sharp bettors, we treat all these books as a data point. So essentially what we can do is we can say, okay, on Caesars Sportsbook, they have minus 167 juice towards the over. We're getting minus 130 on Fliff. So Caesars market, right, what we need to do is we need to remove the VIG. They have, a 54, they have a 54-cent spread in their market. So this is the VIG, right? So what we need to do is we need to remove the VIG. And you're going to see, according to Caesars, the true line with the VIG removed is minus 133, right? So once you scratch the VIG, remove the juice, however you want to think about it, from Caesars market, the fair price on this bet is minus 133, right? So we can go here. And Caesars is saying this bet should be priced at minus 133.2. So essentially, Caesars Sportsbook, their model, right? The way that sportsbooks work is they have models that spit out, hey, here's what we think the win probability for a bet is. Then they get to their no vig odds, and then they juice their market. So the same way a car dealer, right, will buy a car for $10,000, they'll flip it for $15,000. If you go into a car dealer and they say, hey, I'll buy your car for $10,000. That's because they think it's worth more than $10,000, $12.5K maybe, right? And then if they try to flip the car for $15K, right, they think the car's worth less than that. They make money by charging a spread. It's the same thing in sports betting, right? Sportsbooks juice their markets. They add VIG into their markets. So we need to remove the VIG. So according to Caesars, the fair line on this bet is minus 133.2. And this bet is 57.12% to win. But again, Caesars is just one data point. So we're getting minus 130, right? Which is better than the no vig odds, which is better than the fair odds. It's kind of like Caesars Sportsbook is saying, hey, we think the price of a stock, this stock, should be worth $133.22, and you can buy it for $130. right? Like you're getting value. You'll notice on OddsJam, you're always getting better odds than the no vig odds, right? The fair odds. So here, Kyle Bradish under 5.5 strikeouts, which you can see. I also bet on this. I included it in a parlay though. You can see right here, this game already started as well. I got it plus 105 odds. Now it's down to plus 100. But anyways, what was I trying to say? Is all these books have their own odds, right? So we want to consider all these books. All these books have sophisticated models. Caesars is a $10 billion company. Same with DraftKings. So we want to look at all their odds. So DraftKings has this minus 155 plus 125. So according to DraftKings, the fair price is minus 136.76. So DraftKings is actually a bit more bullish on the over than Caesars. They have the over a bit more favored, minus 136.76, and this is 57.76% to win, this specific bet. So, okay, we can go there. And then we can go to Betway, which has this minus 150, plus 125. So all these books, you know, we want to consider them as data points. So Bet360, Betway, I apologize. The fair price, once you remove the VIG, is minus 135. Again, on Fliff, we're getting minus 130, better odds than the fair odds, which is why this play is profitable. So we can go here, and this bet is 57.45% to win. So all these books have slightly different models, right? So they all have slightly different win percentages, slightly different fair odds. And as a sharp bettor, we're using all these data points to make our betting decision, right? So Hot Streak has a lot more juice towards the over, right? They have this market minus 215, plus 143. So they have the over a lot more favored. Minus 165.86 is their fair price. Again, it's like, you know, the model on Hot Streak is saying, hey, you know, we think this bet with the VIG removed, the true line is his over should be priced at minus 165. And we're getting this on Fliff at minus 130. So again, all these other books have ripped odds towards George Kirby's over. Fliff is asleep at the wheel, still letting you bet on this play at minus 130. But anyways, so this bet is 62.39% to win. So literally every sports book we're looking at, we're getting minus 130 on Fliff. All the other data points are saying no. The fair odds, this should be priced with the VIG removed at like minus 135, minus 165. And that makes us really like this bet at minus 130 odds, right? But we haven't even gotten into how to quantify your profit margin. So the last one we have is Pinnacle. They have their market minus 163, plus 125. So they have this bet 58.24% to win. And minus 139.45 odds. So again, we're getting minus 130 on Hot Streak. It's kind of like if we could buy a stock at 130 bucks and we have 5 other data points telling us, hey, Caesars thinks the stock should be worth 133.20. DraftKings 136.76. Hot Streak 165.86. Right? All these books are data points that we're considering. So now what we can do is we can go to a edge calculator. So if we go here, we can go to an expected value calculator, and I'll kind of take you through how this works, right? So let's say on Fliff, we only bet $100 on George Kirby, you know, over 17.5 outs at minus 130. Right? What we can do is we can take the win probability for our bet from each of these sports books, the fair win probability with the VIG removed. So again, if the fair line were minus 200, it would be 2/3 to win, right? On Caesars, it was minus 133.2, which is 57.12% to win. So according to Caesars, this bet, for every $100 you bet, the expected value of your bet, betting at minus 130, again, we're getting better odds than minus 133.2, so this bet's going to be profitable, but is 1.06%. That's our edge, right? And then we bet this for 250 bucks, right? So 250 times 1.06. This is our profit margin in dollars according to that sportsbook's model. So we can go here, right? So according to Caesars, this bet should be priced at minus 133.2. George Kirby's over, according to their betting market, is 57.12% to win. So our bet at minus 130 has an edge of 1.06%, and we're getting 265 in expected value. Okay, great. So now on DraftKings, they had this 57.76% to win. So what we need to do is we need to go back here, 57.76. So they have this bet as 2.19% profitable. So our bet has 548 in expected value. All these books have different odds, right? So we're kind of treating them all as a data point. Hot Streak has this 62.39% to win. So a lot bigger of a favorite. And we're getting minus 130. So according to Hot Streak, our bet has 10.38% profit margin, right? 10.38% profit margin. 25.95 in edge for a $250 bet. Pinnacle, 58.24%. So that's 3.04%. 3.04%. 760. So according to every other sportsbook's market, this bet on flip is very profitable. So the last one we need to look at is Betway, which is 57.45%. 57.45%, which is 1.64% EV. So long story short, according to all these sportsbooks, this bet on George Kirby, right, at minus 130, it should be a bigger favorite, and again, you can kind of just tell from the value in the market. What this profit margin percent does on OddsJam is it considers all sports books, right? So this is the profit margin according to every individual sportsbook's market. But again, OddsJam is using hundreds of data points, hundreds of sports books to determine the profit margin for your bet. Everything just based in real-time odds. But regardless, however you slice the data, whatever book you look at, whatever book you consider sharper, this play on George Kirby at minus 130 is ridiculously good. So I locked it in. And that's kind of how you think about the math and the profit margin behind your bet. Let me know any questions. Happy to help. Let's make some money, guys.